The following portion of Living Local Carolina is sponsored by Soteria Protection Services. We're having a great day today on Living Local Carolina because today I am joined by Joan and Brandon from Soteria. How are you guys doing?
Great, thank you.
All right, this is kind of the first of our kind here on Living Local. We've never had somebody from y'all's industry, for lack of a better word. So why don't one of you tell me what Soteria Protection Services is and a little bit about the name and where it comes from?
Okay. Well, Soteria Protection Services is an executive protection firm. And often people think of executive protection as just bodyguards, which we certainly are, but there's much more to it. And we can tell you a little bit about some of our other services that will amplify that. But first of all, let me say Soteria is actually, in Greek mythology, a goddess who personifies safety and deliverance from danger. So we felt like that was an appropriate name for our firm, since that's really the underlying ethos of what we do.
Exactly, and it takes some training in order to be able to do this very well. So why don't you tell me about your background?
So I spent an enlistment in the Marine Corps, did 4 years. I was a military policeman, and then I became a canine cop. After that, I worked for the government for probably 5 years as a private security contractor. At that time, I deployed multiple times overseas to Iraq and Afghanistan as a PSD team member and leader, and also a canine handler.
Gotcha. So we talk about the term executive protection. What exactly does that mean, and who needs it, essentially?
So EP work can be celebrities or, a bunch of kids that need to get a ride to school. It's not what people think. It's not just for the wealthy. And that's the point we'd like to get across there.
So, I like to always say there are many faces of executive protection. I mean, people typically think of it as the suit with the sunglasses and, sort of Secret Service type. And certainly we do that. But also, as Brandon said, it can be shirt sleeves, guarding a family, and sort of more of a low profile look and feel.
Gotcha. So walk me through some of the menu of what you guys provide, essentially, so people can understand when you could actually use your services.
Sure. You want to start with secure
transportation? So we have what we refer to in the industry as secure transportation. Basically, this is your Uber driver who's medically trained. He's been through driving courses, or she. And also, everybody is experienced people who have been overseas. They're either former LEOs or military.
Interesting. All right.
In the corporate environment, we provide services that mitigate risk from any type of workplace violence. An example might be if an employee who's known to be volatile is being disciplined or dismissed. The presence of an executive protection agent can often, just by the nature of their presence, thwart any sort of violent behavior. However, should there be an incident, our agents are trained to de-escalate the situation and, if necessary, to intervene physically. Also, it's important to the other employees because the agent will, in advance of the meeting, clear the exits and also escort the person off the property. Gotcha. Right.
And I know you guys are located here in Myrtle Beach, but can you serve areas outside of Myrtle Beach as well?
Sure. Again, we do focus on the Grand Strand for client purposes, but we're available to travel really anywhere in the world with the client, or perhaps more importantly, in advance of the client.
The following portion of Living Local Carolina is sponsored by Soteria Protection Services.